Okay, welcome in social online class. Look here, I've told you already also, today we are going to read lesson 5.6. Topic goes like this, major topic, good governance. In Nepali, it is called Asal Sasan, okay? Asal Sasan, good governance. Now, what is good governance? Asal Sasan, first of all, we have to know it, okay? If we are familiar with good governance, then different aspects of good governance, such as characteristic of good governance, obstacle of good governance, and so on. On those other subtopic also we can discuss easily. Okay. Therefore, first of all, let's try to know what is good governance, or let me try to introduce you what is good governance. Okay. Look here, I have told you already. Let me use the digital ballpen. Today's topic, good governance, social session. What is good governance? Now raise a question in your mind. Afterwards, you might develop an interest in it, okay? Are you listening? Good governance, look here, good governance refer to the fair manner. Look here, fair manner. Wherever I am underlining, those are the major points of this definition. Good governance refer to the fair manner, okay, in which government work. It means if any government actually work fairly for the welfare of the people, such government can be known as, or such government is maintaining their good governance in a nation. Therefore, fair manner, working manner of the any government of any nation is known as good governance. Do you understand? The fair manner of any government, or the fair working manner of any government to provide the state facilities to the citizen in their respective country is known as good governance. Therefore, simply keep in mind the fair working manner of any government of any nation is known as good governance. Now, more ideas is given here. Okay, look here. Next point I brought. The concept of good governance was developed with the demand that political power, okay, look here, political power. Actually, this good governance is concept of a dharana, isn't it? Uh, this actually good governance is a concept which was developed. Why it was developed? It was developed with the demand. There was demand of it. What sort of demand was there? There was demand of political power should be used in a favor of people. There was a demand to use the political power which are exercised by the different political leaders of Nepali Congress, Nepali, Maoist, and so on in Nepal. Yes, they have to utilize their power, which power they have achieved because we have given them vote during the election. Okay, therefore they are using the utilizing their political power, and such power, that should be utilized uh, fairly for the welfare of the people. It is the concept of the good governance. Similarly, donor nation and international financial institution. Look here, there are so many donor nation for this nation, for our nation, because our nation is poor nation. It is just developing nation. Therefore, so many donor nation are there. So many international financial institutions are there, such as IMF, International Monetary Fund, ADB, Asian Development Bank, similarly World Bank. These nowadays, what does? Those imposes good governance as a eight conditionality. If any government doesn't maintain the good governance, this donor nation and international financial institution doesn't provide any sort of aid, financial aid. Therefore, their aid conditionality is good governance. Keep in mind, they agree to offer aid, that financial aid, financial support, and loans, easy loan, soft loan, to the Nepal government on the one condition. What sort of condition? If they reform the governance. if they reform the governance, it means good governance. If they maintain the good governance in a nation, these international financial institutions like IMF, ADB, and World Bank will help. Otherwise, won't provide any sort of technical support, financial support, and do not even provide soft loan to the nation. Okay. Therefore, nowadays, what is the situation there in Nepal regarding the good governance? You know that it is the one of the condition is the Nepal government if want to take the loan, soft loan, you know that any sort of donation, any sort of financial support from the donor nation and international donor agencies, it has to first of all maintain the good governance, or it has to promise to maintain the good governance. Okay, now let's go to the another point also. Here is also more actually uh, what to say clearer definition than former one, first one. Look here, good governance. It is also definition of good governance. What is good governance? More actually ideas is given here. Good governance in a broader sense. What is it? Good governance in a broader sense is to rule according to the need and need and wish of the people as well as their welfare. What is good governance? Good governance is the what to say. Good governance is the such a actually such a situation. What to say? Good governance in a broader sense is to rule. Okay, it means good governance is such a ruling system, or process of ruling where you know that ruler try to that fulfill the need and wish of the people, and uh, try to carry out every activities for their welfare. What does it mean? It means if there is any government which is fulfilling the need of the people, wish of the people, and working solely for the welfare of the people, such government, okay, is maintaining good governance there. Similarly, look here, good if there is good governance, what shall happen there? There won't take place any sort of discrimination. Good governance always negates the all sort of discrimination between men and women, discrimination among the different castes of people, discrimination between different regional people, religious group, isn't it? Such thing it actually always negates and rejects. Similarly, it even negates the prejudice. Look here, preference for a person. Yes, it doesn't want to preference particular person, particular class, particular religious group. Similarly, good governance always discourage corruption, irregularities, exploitation, similar other misdeeds. So simply keep in mind, good governance is such a actually ruling system. Good governance is uh, fairly working actually manner of the government where it negates all sort of discrimination, prejudice, corruption, irregularities, exploitation, and so on. Okay, now simply keep in mind that good governance is the fair working manner of the government, where it actually negates everything like corruption, irregularities, exploitation, similar misdeeds, and so on. Now I have arrived in next slide. Look here. Still, we are discussing on good governance. It is the major topic. Now, there is a sub topic. Look here, characteristic of good governance. Yes, it means features of good governance. What are the features of good governance or characteristic of good governance? Look here. First characteristic of good governance is participation. Yes, which government is working fairly there? Okay, working fairly there, it means whichever government is maintaining good governance there, in that country, people from all background, like actually sects, community, caste, religious groups, and so on, they get opportunity there, equal opportunity there in a nation. They actually can take part in developmental activities. They get the jobs in the government service, government offices. There won't be any sort of discrimination. That all there will be the whole people's participation. Okay. Therefore, good governance first characteristic is participation, full people's participation in every organ of the Nepal government, every organ of the any government, every government offices, in each and every developmental projects, and so on. Okay, there will be full people's participation if there is good governance. And another good governance, another characteristic is accountability. If there is, that a government which is working fairly, that can maintain accountability. It means that government completely will be accountable to the responsible to the people. You know, you might know there are there is parliament, federal parliament in Kathmandu, provincial parliament in province number 1, and rest of the provinces also, Bagmati province, Gandaki province, Sudar Pasim province. Everywhere there are provincial parliament as well. Okay, provincial, it is known as provincial assembly nowadays in Nepal. Those all are elected. That those are the institution, government institution elected by Nepalese people. Therefore, if they are elected by Nepalese people, those should be responsible to the citizen. Whatever actually people demand, whatever people have been willing, okay, whatever they are demanding, they have to fulfill. They have to allocate budget for that. It means that there are government offices, there are that millions of civil servants. So those should be also responsible to the citizen. If we go to the Urlavari municipality, civil servant working there in Urlavari municipality should respond us positively. Okay, they have to work our, they have to, carry out our work as soon as possible, fairly as well, isn't it? It is known as, this is known as, that accountability or responsibility. Okay, this is also another actually features of good governance. If there is good governance, every organ of that government, that civil servants all work for the welfare of the people and provides the state facilities, that as soon as possible. Similarly, look here, another third feature of the good governance is transparency. Whichever government is working fairly, honestly, that whichever government is able to maintain the good governance in a nation, the government's every functions, every works, every decisions actually are actually found transparent one. That there won't be hidden anything. Every decision, it will be made public by the government. Okay, it is made public by the government. Every work, every project, every decision, those are also made public by the government. There won't be done anything. Even financial transaction, that income and expenses of the government, budget, everything, those are made public, should be made public if that government wants to maintain the good governance in that nation. If government is honest and working fairly, there won't be any sort of problem for such government. But if the government is involved in corruption, that carrying out misdeeds, that who is not responsible to actually fulfill the demand and wish of the people, never maintain the transparency in the nation. Look here, another actually features of good governance is rule of law. Wherever it's good governance, जुन देशमा असल शासन छ, there will be the rule of law. त्यहाँ चाहिँ कानुनको शासन हुन्छ. It means, rule of law, any government which is working fairly, what does it do? It works, looks fair, it activities looks fair, it activities, every activities, developmental works, decision, everything looks fair, that because of the full implementation of the laws existing in the nation, constitution existing in the nation, norms and values of the societies existing in the nation. Therefore, good governance can be maintained, by implementing the existing laws strictly. Okay, whichever government is actually working fairly, always implement the laws strictly, and people also feel that there is rule of nation in the nation, rule of law in our nation. We shouldn't actually we shouldn't violate any rules and regulation, laws of the nation. We are punished, we are taken into the custody by the police. In this way, people also start to think, if there is a rule of law. Look here, another point, another characteristic of good governance goes like this. Look here, consensus. It means sahamati. There won't be the quarrelsome, there won't be the misunderstanding among the political parties, among the different organizations, among the leaders, among the civil servants, among the even people, if there is good governance. If government is especially working fairly, what shall happen there? Every political party's leader, they will reach in a consensus. They actually sign an agreement paper and collectively carry out so many developmental activities for the development of the nation, for developing the nation, for the welfare of the people of the nation. If there is not such government which is not working fairly, which has involved in corruption, there will be there always exists the conflict, misunderstanding among the political parties. To some extent, in our Nepal at present, what is in there? There is not seen good governance because recently KP Sharma Oli has to KP Sharma Oli actually had to leave his post of prime minister because of the pressure of the race political parties, and even the that actually decision given by the Supreme Court of Nepal. And the rest political parties have now at present has formed the government. They are actually behaving with each other, blaming with each other as enemies. Such situation shouldn't be there if there is good governance. जुन देशमा असल शासन छ त्यहाँ चाहिँ सबै पोलिटिकल पार्टी विशेषको दुश्मनी हुँदैन. Okay, there will be the consensus, उनीहरू बिच सहमति हुन्छ, and collectively they work. Therefore, consensus is the one of the feature of the very influential feature of the characteristic of good governance. Look here, another, equity and inclusiveness. Whichever government has maintained the good governance, there will be treated, that there will be maintained the equity in the nation. Here, equity, this is equality and equity. These two terminology have differences. Okay, this equity is more, better than equality. Okay, equality. In equity, each and every communities, backward communities, that poor, even that scheduled classes are also given preference by the government. Government take responsibility to provide state facilities to all the citizens having different background. Therefore, it is better than equality. Inclusiveness means what? It means that if there is maintained good governance by any government, okay, कुनै पनि सरकारले यदि असल शासन मेन्टेन गरिराखेको छ भने, what shall happen there? There will be the implemented the inclusiveness, this principle very effectively. There will have been, there will be included people from all caste, background, sex in a major organ of the government. They are similarly people from poor communities, poor background also will be included in a major organ of the government. People from all caste, community, and religious group will have got the job opportunities in the government offices. They also that they are also seen as actually major, main leader of the nation. These all things will be there. That if there is good governance, if there is not good governance, the government is not working fairly, the government is not honest one, and equity, inclusiveness won't be there. Okay? Similarly, effectiveness and efficiency. whichever government is honest one, working fairly for the welfare of the people, it means whichever government has maintained the good governance, they are actually every developmental project activities, carried out by the government uh, becomes effective one also. Efficiently, those will be happening there as well. Finally, these all things, provide the help to provide the state facilities to the all the citizens of the nation. Therefore, these are the some characteristic of the good governance. Okay, simply keep in mind participation, accountability, transparency, rule of law, consensus, equity and inclusiveness, effectiveness and efficiency are the major characteristics of good governance. Without maintaining them, that without maintaining them in a particular nation, a particular government cannot maintain the good governance. Okay. Now let's go to the next subtopic. This is obstacle of good governance. Yes, we have discussed for a few minutes on characteristic of good governance. Now here is another subtopic, obstacle of good governance. Yes, it means for working fairly, particular government or particular nation, faces a lot of problem. There are many obstacles on the way. Okay, when they will be going ahead, when they will be ruling the nation, कुनै पनि सरकारले शासन गरिरहँदाखेरि गुड गभर्नेन्स मेन्टेन गर्ने कुरामा धेरै समस्याहरू भेट्नुपर्छ. फर्स्ट obstacle, what is that? Poverty. If government is poor, if citizens are poor, if the whole nation is poor, they cannot be maintain the good governance easily. Okay, therefore, to maintain the good governance, to create the favorable situation for the government, to rule the nation, or to work fairly for the welfare of the people, particular government has to first of all eliminate the alleviate the poverty, isn't it? It creates so many problems. One thing keep in mind, those leaders who are from poor family, that suppose have become home minister, education minister or prime minister, he or she tries to, that involve in corruption and want to earn huge amount of money, during his reign, during his ruling period. Yes, so that he can actually fulfill the many needs and desires of his family member. In this way, if a leader is there who is very poor, has become home minister or prime minister, if involved in corruption, how there can be maintained good governance? Simply keep in mind. Therefore, poverty is one of the major obstacle of good governance. So, in order to actually maintain the good governance, poverty should be first of all minimized from the nation. Similarly, look here, lack of enough public pressure. What is there? There is not good governance. Government is working according to its will. सरकारले चाहिँ आफ्नै ढङ्गले शासन गरिराखेको छ, जथाभावी शासन गरिराखेको छ. Government is doing whatever it desires. Okay, why it is happening? Because public pressure is not there. We are public. We do not pay attention to the activities of the government. Most of you do not listen news there. You have the news. You don't have any interest in news. What is happening in the nation, in the political sphere, you don't know. Who is the Prime Minister of Nepal? You may not know. Who is the Home Minister of Nepal? You may not know. Yeah, in this situation, if we are unaware of political events taking place at present, how can we pressurize the government for that ruling us fairly? Therefore, lack of enough public pressure is one of the one more major obstacle of good governance. Most of the people of this nation, 80% people of this nation, they are from the very poor family and medium class. They are worrying for they are doing hard work for their survival. They don't have really time to pay attention to the politics. They don't have time to listen to the news also. By listening news, by taking part in political parties activities, they can fulfill their daily needs. Because of this reason also, they are ignoring the government activities. Therefore, there is not a public pressure from the side of the public to the Nepal government or any government of this world. Okay, look here. Therefore, this is the one of the obstacles. Similarly, third obstacle of the good governance, असल शासनको तेस्रो समस्या भनेको, what is that? Poor implementation of laws. Yes, there have been formulated so many strict laws in our nation as well, but those are not implemented strictly. Yes, so many times, so many women, girls have been raped by raper, but those raper, although they are taken into the custody, aren't punished strictly. They are not actually put into prison for forever, for their whole life. Because of this very reason, what is happening? Same case is happening. Same sort of incident is taking place again and again in Nepal. Similarly, corruption is also increasing. You know that gold trafficking is also is taking place. Bribery is also increasing rapidly. Why? Because laws are there against them, but those laws are not implemented by the government properly and effectively. Because of this very reason, there is actually, it is difficult, it is very difficult to maintain the good governance in a particular nation, especially in our nation. Look here, another obstacle of good governance is lack of coordination between government and civil society. Civil society means all of we, okay, I mean all of us, you and me, all of you and me, your parents and mine parents. You know that we comes under civil society. We are civil of this nation, citizen of this nation. What is the problem there? There between government, sarkar, civil society, nagarik samaj. Bisma के छैन, there is not coordination. They do not coordinate with each other. Ordinary people do not recognize the head of the government, do not have a close relationship with prime minister, president, home minister. Even so many people are there, public are there, who actually do not have good relationship with mayor, deputy mayor, even chairman of village executive as well. Because of this very reason, there is vast gap between local government and civil society, that central government and civil society. Because of this very reason, what is happening, their government is not able to maintain good governance in a nation without support of public, without support of civil society. Definitely there can be maintained the good governance. जनता को समर्थन बिना असल शासन मेन्टेन गर्न सरकारलाई गाह्रो छ। Look here, fifth one, that obstacle of good governance is institutional corruption. There is corruption in our Nepal, that, and this is institutionalized. Okay, it is institutionalized and it has its silent network. Those who are who have involved in corruption can be found so easily. All leaders, that civil servants have secretly running their, that institution of corruption and have been corrupting the national budget, that national wealth, property, and that saving those huge amount of that money in their personal bank account. Therefore, what is happening? Those such actually institutional corruption has been badly affecting the different developmental activities running in this nation. Nepal is becoming poorer and poorer by day. Look, another obstacle, political instability in our Nepal. Particular government which is elected for 5 years never can work whole period. KP Sharma Oli couldn't run for 5 years, although he was elected by Nepalese people on the post of prime minister. For 5 years, Sherbadur Deva has been, I mean, he has grabbed the post of prime minister by overthrowing KP Sharma Oli from the post of prime minister. Next time there might be overthrown again Sherbadur Deva by another leader and might be grabbed the post of prime minister by him or her. It is called political instability, rajnaitik asthirta. Because of this very reason, if any government, elected government cannot work whole period, then that government cannot implement the all policies program which it launches there, that launches there for the actually welfare of the people. Because of this very reason, what is happening in our nation, good governance can be experienced. Look here, system based administration. हाम्रो नेपालमा के छ, एकदमै प्रणालीमा आधारित प्रशासन छ. It means if we go through simply, that issue our citizen, take our citizenship card, you have to visit the several number of offices there. You have to ask the request to sign on our documents to the different officials there in a, the government offices, even for simply, that taking out our issuing our citizenship card. Similarly, for so many other governmental works, we have to visit the different offices. We have to take the sign of the different officials. It is called system-based administration. Our governmental, civil servants in government offices doesn't provide such state facilities of government. That instantly it takes, they do delay. Okay, they takes time. They kills our important time. Look here, another obstacle of the good governance is lack of appropriate policies and program. Are you listening, guys? A lack of appropriate policies and program. सही खालको कार्यक्रम र नीतिहरू पनि के नेपालमा के छ, छैन, एकदमै कम छ. That appropriate policies aren't there. That if there are appropriate policies and programs, those can be implemented so easily, because of corrupt leader always want to, that misuse the budget of the nation. Because of this very reason, appropriate policy also cannot be prepared there, formulated there, cannot be launched there, such program to, that provide the facilities of government to the citizen. Okay, therefore this is also another obstacle. Similarly, look here, last one obstacle I have brought here for you: low level of political awareness. Ordinary people do not have idea on politics, how actually political leaders have been, that misusing the budget of the nation, how they have involved in corruption, how do they, are they deceiving them? They don't know, they do not want to pay attention to politics because of their poverty. They have to do hard work for their survival to earn some amount of money every day. Because of this very reason, what is there? There is low level of political awareness in the public, majority of the people. Therefore, the leaders are doing whatever they like. Okay, whatever they desire, they are doing it in our nation. And because of this very reason, in our nation, to the great extent, there is not maintained good governance. नेपालमा पनि असल शासन चाहिँ मेन्टेन भएको छैन. नेपालको सरकारले पनि असल शासनलाई मेन्टेन गर्न सकेको छैन. Therefore, present government also cannot be considered as a actually good government. Okay. Now, this much for today. Thank you so much, guys. Have a nice day ahead. Okay, less than 1 minute left here. Let me stop sharing this screen. So you are altogether 19 students. I hope you have gained some knowledge on good governance, its obstacle, and even its characteristic. Go through your lesson also. You will get the more ideas. By saying this much, I want to end our class, virtual class. Okay. Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.